Just north of Jerusalem, there's a location almost no one knows about. In this spot, God reveals himself to two of the patriarchs and later split the kingdom into chaos over politics and idol worship. But if you look closely, through the rubble, the historical accounts, and political drama, the site holds a mystery, just waiting to be discovered. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Biblical Bethel. We're here on a water tower now in the modern town, the newly restored town of Bethel. As I look out here, we're just under, really in the shadows of Baal Hazor, which is a 3,300 foot mountain just beside of us here. From this point, we can see nearly the entire land of Israel, from the north as far as Mount Hermon, to the west, all the way out to the Mediterranean Sea, to the south as far as Gaza, and to the east all the way to the Gilead mountain range in Jordan today. The stories that happen here, biblical accounts of Abraham and Jacob, of these stories that we all read growing up, of Abraham literally coming down from the Mount of Elon Moreh, where he builds the altar, gets the promise to the land, and then he comes here to this place, and then also builds an altar and worships God here. Jacob runs from Esau, his brother, running for his life. He comes to this place and he also meets God here. And from this place, the promise is again confirmed. That promise that God gave to Abraham is confirmed to Jacob right here as he lays down his head and goes to sleep, and angels coming up and down from ladders. God reveals himself to Jacob right here. So many stories unfold. The prophet Samuel, as he grows up in Shiloh, and then he actually becomes a judge over Israel. And he comes here every year as he travels around Israel and judges the people from here in Bethel. One specifically interesting story is where Jeroboam, when he separates from Judah in Jerusalem, and he establishes his kingdom here in Bethel, creating a place of worship and even preventing people from going up to Jerusalem to worship. He creates a place of all-out idolatry here at Bethel. But there's something else here in Bethel. Something mysterious, something historically correct from the pages of the Bible that very few people understand or know that it happened here. And we'll be showing you that in just a minute. Here, right in the center of Bethel's historic, ancient site, here's a tree, an oak tree, the oldest in Israel, nearly 1,000 years old. You know, what it says to me and to archaeologists that have been on this site is that there was respect over the last 1,000 years of Christian and Muslim, Turkish, British, all the different rules that came through. All of them respected something about this site, which to me goes back to Genesis 28. The fact that they must have known the story of Jacob's dream that happened here, where Jacob came running from Esau, his brother, and laid his head down here, and then God spoke to him and confirmed again the covenant that he had made to his father Abraham and said, Jacob, though you're running and you're running for your life, know this. Your descendants are going to be great on the earth. They're going to be like the stars of heaven, the sand of the sea. And I'm going to give you this land right here that we're standing on. That promise was made to Jacob. And then the angels are going up and down the ladder, presumably here, right here on this place. And then it says right here that he called the name of that place Beit El, right here. We're literally standing on the place that this happened. And so many civilizations also have been here, not only by this tree, but all of this pottery. Look at this, thousands of years old, this pottery dating back. Look at this handle to some ancient pot, literally lying right here. So much to this story. So much archaeology here that dates back hundreds and thousands of years. If we go back to Jacob, it's nearly 4,000 years when he was visited here by God, and the promise was reconfirmed to him, the promise to the land, the promise to the people of Israel. And then the reverence for that story continued throughout the generations and the history that followed. Right here we have a Muslim mosque that dates back 1,200 years. So the Muslims are recognizing and revering this site as something holy. And then the Christians 900 years ago built this church attached to the Muslim mosque. And then just a few hundred years ago, a Muslim sheikh was buried here. So many thousands of years of history, and yet the reverence for this site continued through these different times in history that's seen right here. So we've come down to a cave here that in ancient times they would have mass produced olive oil and wine from here. This was the area of where they would crush the olives and stamp the grapes. So the question now is why such a large industrial-like press here? Obviously this sustained a very large amount of people. The answer, I believe, we can get from a great friend of ours who mentions a rather obscure passage from the Bible. In Judges 20, we read about a horrific incident that actually leads to civil war between the tribe of Benjamin and the rest of the tribes. And the tribes go up before the war to ask God what tribe should lead the battle against Benjamin. Fascinating, right there it says that they come to Beit El to ask of the Lord the direction. What should we do? Who should go first? In verse 26, then all the people of Israel, the whole army, went up and came to Bethel and wept. They sat there before the Lord and fasted that day until evening and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before the Lord. And the people of Israel inquired of the Lord, for the ark of the covenant of God was there in those days. So we know that 3,000 years ago that the Ark of the Covenant was here. And if the Ark of the Covenant was here, then was also the tabernacle, the altar also here? And I think this provides us the answer. Why did so many civilizations and people believe that this site of Beit El was so significant, and why did they respect it throughout all these generations? Well, maybe this is it. Maybe God's presence rested here 3,000 years ago. So this means that the outline of this building that has puzzled archaeologists for years could indeed be the site of the tabernacle where God's presence rested. Traditionally, people know this site as the site of Jeroboam's temple in which he led Israel astray into idolatry. But what they don't know is that the dimensions of this site are the exact dimensions of the tabernacle that went through the desert, that Moses brought into the land of Israel, that came to Shiloh, and that maybe also came here. This site dates back to day 3,000 years. Could it be that this site was not only a place that led Israel astray, but maybe its foundations go back to a time when the tabernacle was here and God was worshiped in holiness right here at this place? And today we're not only discovering what happened in Israel's past, we're standing on ancient ruins, but as the prophets of Israel foretold, one day the ruins would be rebuilt, that the Jewish people would come back home. And today, at the site of ancient Bethel, lies the new city. 6,000 Jewish people now live and thrive here in the newly established city of Beit El. In our modern times, as the Jewish people have come back to the land of Israel in fulfillment of that promise that God made to Jacob here, this would be the land that his descendants would live. So many people around the world are fighting against the Jewish people and against this promise made so many thousands of years ago to Jacob. It's our hope here at the Israel Guys that you would no longer fight against, but join and support the Jewish people in the land today in our modern time in fulfillment of that promise made to Jacob so many thousands of years ago. Guys, if you liked what you've seen and want to support it, we'd appreciate it. Go to theisraelguys.com/donate to be a part of it. And as always, thanks for watching.